Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Tech Tuesday, presented by Delta Media Group, where, not unlike Mr. Green, we are ever doing away with evil in the hall with the revolver. So, today we're going to take a look at the pre-listing announcement system. I think we've done a video on this in the past, but actually sort of by request. Someone wanted us to go in and take a look at not just the pre-listing announcement system by itself, but compare the pre-announced listings to regular pocket listings. They look very similar in the interface, so that's why we're going to take a look and kind of compare the two so that you can see what the differences are. So let's jump into the DeltaNet and take a look. Now, first and foremost, to get to the pre-listing announcement system, we'll go down to Listings and click on Pre-announced Exclusive. What this allows us to do is basically put in a listing that is not yet at MLS. So, and the idea is, you can use this as part of a sales presentation too. You can go in, you can put in a customer's address. Falling apart today, man. The system will take a look at all the customers that it thinks might be interested in that property, and it's using saved search data, primarily market watch data, to figure out what what customers might be interested in that listing, and then kind of gives you a count of those. And then what you can do from here is finish out filling the rest of this, and then that'll create the listing in the system, and can actually email those customers just an announcement that says, depending on your company settings, can email out an announcement that says, this listing isn't yet on the market, but we thought you might be interested in this. It's checking all the agents in the company, but the listing doesn't go out on your behalf. It goes out on behalf of whoever it is that is the listing agent. And the email also lets the customers know that it is an automated system that's notifying them of this. So, it's not like you're putting words in someone else's mouth. So to use it, we'll go down here and put in an address, and I'll just put in, I don't know, I'm going to guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. So I put in an address, we'll select that, and you can see this narrows down to customers that it believes will be interested. From there, I can narrow it down a little bit further, so we know this is residential, we know some property details, let's say this is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, it's pretty standard for me there. And we'll put in a price. Now you can put in a range in here, and it's going to try to find customers that are interested in a price range close to that. But you're putting in one property, so it really just has the price range you're considering listing it at, or the seller is considering listing it at, is kind of where you're at. And you can see that as I fill things out, it will continually narrow this list down to closer matches, because I'm getting more specific with what my listing is. So I have a lot of the same listing search criteria here, and then here at the end, not only can I see just a summary of the kind of things that I've put in for this property, but I can also decide how picky I want this to be. So if I turn this up a little bit, you'll see this number, you should see this number start to go down. Let's get real picky. There we go. So you can see as you get pickier, it's going to find customers that are already closer and closer matched to this property, and so it's going to continually drop this number down. So we'll just make it real picky. There we go. So we only found 3. So that's looking for customers that really are looking for a listing that exactly matches this criteria. So as I go down, so now that I've found that number, I can go down here and I'll just fill out the rest of the information related to this property that I'm putting in. So we'll say it's residential, single family. We have our price in here because it took that from the price range I entered. We have our address. I can add in, any other information here, and I'm not going to get too specific with it. And there you go. The one thing I will add in is I'll make sure to put the listing agent in here, so I'll just put myself as the listing agent, or rather this demo account as the listing agent. So we'll set that up, and I'll give it a listing office also. And then once I'm all set there, we'll go down here and submit listing. So that creates the listing, and at this point, that listing exists as one of the pre-announcement listings. So it's not a pocket listing, it's a pre-announced listing. And I'll get into what the difference is there. But here, I can choose to upload a photo for this, and that way I can include a photo along with kind of a detail page that it builds for this. That way, if that email goes out to anyone and it'll say, do you want to see more information on this property, they can go through and see the page with whatever picture I put on it. Otherwise, in this case, I'll just say continue without a photo. And now it'll let me know that it notified the customers, again, because that's turned on for my company, or for the demo company rather. It notified the customers that are potentially interested in that property. So now that I've added it, if I go over here to pre-announced listings, so again I'm under listings and pre-announced listings, I can see all the listings that have been entered here and what their current status is. So what this is doing is these aren't regular searchable listings on the website. If you create a pocket listing, you can create one that acts just like any other listing that came from the MLS. You can set it as active status. It'll be searchable on the front side based on whatever criteria you put in for that listing. These are not searchable in the same way. Also, these can't be edited. So now that you've created this, if I go over here and like with all the other menus, I can click plus to expand the fields there. But if I click on the MLS number, which obviously isn't really an MLS number, it's just a system-defined ID for it, but I can click on that. That'll take me in and show me the information that looks very much like a pocket listing, and even says, it uses the same interface, so that's why it shows this pocket listing here. But it's just showing me the information about this, and none of this is editable to me because this pre-announced exclusive listing's been created in here. So the idea is that this will sit in here. It'll be visible to any other agents. They'll be able to go to this pre-announced listings page on their own DeltaNet and see everything that's in there. Should they get any questions about any of those, they'll be able to click on them and get to the information here, and there'll be a page. I believe there'll be a page that's accessible from the email that was sent out to all the people that were notified as well. But this listing is not part of the regular search system. It can't be edited, and it will automatically go away after a certain amount of time, which I believe is 30 days. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it'll stay in here for about 30 days and then drop out of the system automatically. So the whole idea is that it only exists temporarily and not as part of the regular listing search, so that you can announce it before it's actually put on market, and then it goes away automatically. And the idea is that by then, ideally, you've gotten the listing and then gone to the MLS and actually listed it, as a proper listing by then. So there you have it. That is the pre-listing announcement system. Now, because I am the listing agent on these, I can also delete them from here. But there you go. So that's pre-listing announcement system, what it does, and kind of how it differs from pocket listings. And just real quick, I'll go to listings and then active listings. And up here we have an enter new pocket listing button. That is how you would create a pocket listing. This button is only going to be available to those that, first, the company has turned on the pocket listing system and has granted you access in one way or another to this. So it's not turned on by default, but it is something that some companies do have turned on for all agents. And it just allows you to enter a listing directly into the system, like any other listing, but without entering it into the MLS. It just goes directly into the DeltaNet and becomes searchable like any other listing. So there you have it. So thanks a lot for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to send an email into support@deltagroup.com or give us a call, and we'll answer any questions you have. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you next week.